Hey, college football fans, this is Gary Greene, longtime sports handicapper and professional sports bettor here in Las Vegas for the past 35 years. And this is your Gary Wins videos. And this is our college football week 14 stock down report for the week. And we have a couple of major disappointments to lead off this stock down report. First one being Central Florida, just 4-7, a disastrous season again. Head coach Malzahn, if it wasn't for his one-year wonder with Cam Newton, this guy would be one of the worst coaches in all of college football. It's amazing that this guy was so good in the beginning. As soon as they figured out his junky stuff, they just clobbered him, and they got clobbered again. So we look at this team now, 2023 last year, 6-7. They lost their bowl game to Georgia Tech. 2024 now, 4-7, no bowl. They're not even going to the toilet bowl. They're going nowhere but home. This has been a disaster. Every single opponent scored 30 plus points or more this year when they lost. 10-14 the last 2 years. This guy's got to be fired. Next up, Utah. I'm not going to fire this coach, but the second you saw 15-year senior quarterback rise and go down, you knew the season was curtains again, and just a shame. This team fought hard, though. I will give them that. They were in a lot of the games that they lost. Even last week, they hung tough as long as they could before they finally succumbed to another loss. 7 straight losses, though, right now. The funny part about it is these two teams play on Saturday. And normally this would be pounce time. This is my favorite time of the year where we just destroy the bookmakers at the end of the year. And it's not always betting on teams. It's betting against them. And this time I can't do it because one of them is going to have to win. Good news, I guess, for one of these head coaches that they'll end a skid at the end of the year. But this has been a disastrous season for both of them. I wouldn't expect a great effort out of either one of these two teams. But this is a situation where you can't get a break. They're playing each other for the season finale, and neither one of them missed their bowl game for both of these teams. Big deal, I guess. Stock crashing fast. One of my favorite teams all year, BYU. But as I told you when the bubble bursts, that bubble burst and it's not kind. And in basketball, Bill Rafferty says the iron ain't kind, well the bubble burst ain't kind, folks. And that's 2 straight losses now for BYU. The only good news for them is they still have destiny in their own hands. They can still make it to the Big 12 championship game with a win against Houston at home. So they get regroup, one big regroup game. All of a sudden you turn your whole season around, you win that conference championship, and you're in the playoffs. So they're still in it. They still got a decent team. They were flat last week, exactly as I have figured. So tough breaks for them to lose a couple games in a row like that, but they did show a little life late. That has to bode well heading into this week's game. Next up is Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 5-6, folks, and they're going to go into their final game of the year needing a win to go to a toilet bowl. Right now, though, their last 4 games, all losses. They've been outscored 130-61. And it's time to fire this head coach, too, Luke Fickell. He has done nothing at Wisconsin. A disastrous season once again. And 7-6 last year. That's a joke almost. Wisconsin's a perennial team that make a run at the Big Ten title, not barely make it to a bowl game. This is a team that needs a shake-up bad. Again, 5-6. He's now 19-18 his last 3 years. 19-18. Put that in perspective. This is Wisconsin football where defense reigned, and this team had chances to be in the Big Ten championship almost every single year for about a decade or two. So not a good situation there. Time to, again, get rid of this guy Fickell for sure. And then 3 more guys that got to go. My Florida State Seminoles got to cut loose with Norvell, losing every recruit that they had coming in. It's going to be a disaster for years to come at this point. Undefeated season last year, and then get bounced from the college football playoff, get destroyed in the bowl game, and it's never recovered. And this program's on the ropes now, which is hard to believe. Poor Bobby Bowden's rolling over in his grave. But Maryland and their coach Loxley, I've been ripping this guy since the first year he coached. This guy's terrible. Just a joke of a coach, and this team's gone nowhere again. 4-7. What a joke. And then the last but not least, Auburn and Hugh Freeze. This experiment returning back to big-time college football didn't work out. This guy's a disaster. He better beat Alabama or he's gone too. And it's been a rough week, rough year. For some teams, a rough month for some teams, and a rough season for a lot of head coaches. And this is your stock down report for college football for week 14. Make sure you check out my stock up teams, though. Did that video earlier, and that one should be loaded already. And I do some nice previews for some of the Thanksgiving games, the Friday game, Kansas City and the Raiders, and don't miss that preview. And, of course, I'll do a couple of the bigger games on Saturday. So we're going to have a lot going on here, and I'm going to put up a couple of college basketball videos tomorrow with my college basketball top 5 sleeper teams, not my regular top 5. There's any one of 20 teams this year that can win the national championship. But I like to throw in a couple of sneaky ones like I did with Xavier in my video earlier this week, or I guess it was late last week. So check out all our videos. Bookmark us at Gary Wins Videos, and make sure that you never bet what you cannot afford to lose, and may all your wagers be winning ones. Have a great Thanksgiving week ahead.